Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chase and this is All Things Random. Today, we're looking at another pair of shoes because just like watches, shoes are almost the perfect accessory for your watch. If you guys saw the previous video I did on the Adidas Kermit shoes right here, I am loving these things absolutely, and they do match my Kermit Rolex absolutely perfectly, and they're holding up quite well. Just like these leather sneakers, white is a classic sneaker that doesn't ever go out of style. Well, today we're talking about a specialty shoe from Chamaripa. Now, Chamaripa is a shoe company that deals in a very sensitive subject for some fellows out there, and that is height. These are considered elevator shoes, which means they elevate your height, which means they basically have lifts built in if you are a shorter guy. Now, I am a father of three. I'm 5'9" and 3/4, and I'm looking up to my son right now who's 16 and he's 6 foot. Do I like that? No, not necessarily. However, for me, my height really isn't that big a deal, but I know it is a big deal for some people. If you hover around 5'6", 5'7", and you can gain an inch to 2 inches, even 3 inches, and nobody really know about it simply by putting on a classic leather pair of sneakers, why wouldn't you do it? So it's a sensitive thing for some people. Not me necessarily, but I know it's a sensitive subject even for my wife. My wife is 5'8". She's a smoking hot senorita, and she used to love wearing 2 and 3 inch heels because, man, her legs just go all the way up. She is gorgeous, I can tell you what. But when her and I got together, she stopped wearing the high heels because she was slightly taller than me, and she didn't like that. That's not my fault that I'm short, and it's not her fault that she is taller than the average woman. But it was one of those things where it's like, man, if I could slip into a pair of dress shoes when we went out, and it would give her the ability to wear her 2 or 3 inch heels, then I would absolutely have done it simply to allow her to have more confidence, even though I don't really care what height I am. I mean, the average size height, I think in the US is 5'6", 5'7". For the average male, well, most people want to be 5'11". To include myself, which is exactly why I say I'm 5'9" and 3/4. So let's just go ahead and take a look at what I have here. The Chamaripa CMR, and these are the classic white leather sneakers. Okay, so like in the past, I pride myself on quality of the things that I own. I don't want to get something super expensive that's also cheaply made, like a Gucci belt. I think it's tacky, I think it's dumb. However, when it comes to things like white leather sneakers, like, again, my Adidas Kermits, are the fact that white leather sneakers, black leather sneakers can be styled with nearly anything. And these do offer, like I said, that little secret lift that, some guys, when walking into a room, they need. Now, you can see already that the packaging in this is actually relatively high quality. It actually surprises me just how well everything is packaged to include the inside of the box. I mean, when you think of shoes, an example is my Adidas Stan Smiths. You guys saw it just came in a basic Adidas box. Didn't offer any other quality, didn't offer pouches and stuff for your shoes, nothing like that. It was just simple, and those can go for upwards of $135. So already the packaging is nice. The shoes are in their own individual shoe bags, which is good to see. And again, the ones I have are the classic leather sneakers. Now you can see that these do have somewhat of a high profile, but if I compare it to something like these, not really. The profile is only slightly bigger. You really don't notice it, honestly. And these, they feel like you're walking on the ground. So already, it's really deceptive. It seems like it has a high profile, but again, when I put it next to the Adidas shoe, they're nearly the same. So you can see right here on the inside, you can see how much they really lift up. We're talking like a good solid 2.5 inches. And if it's not noticeable, great. Okay, so let's discuss the quality of the materials used in this. The leather on this shoe is extremely soft. I mean, really soft. Like, I always tell people, like, hey, make sure you always wear socks with shoes, because oftentimes you'll get blisters. People will say, oh no, your shoes will smell or whatever. Really, for me, it's about comfort, and blisters are basically the worst thing in the world. I wore a pair of Converse without socks for about an hour, and I got blisters right across the top of my feet. Ridiculous. I could have saved myself. The leather is so soft on the inside that honestly, I don't really think that would even happen. So let's first talk about the shoe. The quality seems really good. And again, these are not cheap at all, not even a little bit. So with the price that you're paying, I have, like, the quality is really good. Now you may say, hey, this thing looks a little high, but if you compare it to this Adidas, actually it's very similar. It's very similar. The profile is actually pretty similar. The only thing you notice right here is there's more of a up slope right here on the laces, but honestly, when you wear them, it's not really that noticeable. So let's talk about wearing the shoes for just a minute. Now, as you wear the shoes, now this is an extreme height difference. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is this, is if you want to add 2.5 inches to your height, this is the way to do it. You have to understand that you're going to be getting a pro and a con. Good quality shoes, pretty comfortable. What you have to realize is it's not just a heel and a lift on the back that's raising you up. It's a heel and a lift that's raising the entire foot up. But you still are at a slight angle forward, as if like you're sort of balancing on the balls of your feet. It's just something you have to get used to. This runs slightly small. I wear 10.5s, and that's exactly what I got. And these need some breaking in, but I probably should have got half a size bigger, so that's something to consider also. Again, when it comes to leather sneakers, normally you break them in and they become far more comfortable, so maybe I just need more time behind the laces. But I would recommend right off the bat just getting a half size bigger, and don't start with something so extreme. If you are 5'8" and you're like, hey, I just wish I was 5'10", honestly, if you get something with like a 1-inch lift on the inside, and they offer different size lifts on the Chamaripa's website. So if you're like, hey, I'm really self-conscious, I'm 5'7", 5'8", I just want to be just a little bit bigger, I bet that if you got the 1-inch lift or something that's just slightly bigger than what you're used to, you'll notice a difference, but you're not going to notice a difference in the shoe at all. It's going to feel like any other shoe. This, because it has such a height difference, I noticed the difference. After walking in them for a while, it's just something you get used to. They're not uncomfortable, but it's just like a woman walking in a 1 or 2 inch heel, right? Your foot ends up sloping upward at the heel, kind of comes down into a natural form. They add plenty of padding inside here, so in no point are they uncomfortable. The support along the sole is great, good grip in these, and honestly, just walking, you can walk naturally without any problem at all. It just takes a little bit of practice. I'm not gonna lie to you, it takes a little bit of practice because you're not used to walking 1 inch to 2 inches higher than what you are. And again, you're not walking like a normal sneaker. It's just slightly different. So it's just something to keep in mind. Would I recommend them? Yeah, like I said, honestly, if you are self-conscious about your height, fix it. I have no problem in this world telling someone, hey, if you feel like you're a little too heavy, then go for a walk and lose a little bit of weight. I have no issue telling someone if they're self-conscious about their face or anything like that. I'll give you an example. I have connected earlobes. Bugs the hell out of me. I'm the only one in the family that has it. I think they're super ugly. In fact, I actually cut this one shaving yesterday because I was just rushing to get to work. And honestly, if it bothered me enough, I would get them fixed. I don't know why it's such an issue in society that if something is bothering you, if something is self-consciously bothering you, you can fix it. Now, I can't just grow another inch to 2 inches, but I can make myself feel better by adding an additional 1 to 2 to 3 inches in the shoes that I'm wearing. I don't think there's a problem with that at all. Honestly, I don't. I think that people need to get rid of their notions. They need to get rid of their BS and just fix a problem that you have. I'm not saying don't love the skin that you're in. Like I said, I'm 5'9". I wish that I was 5'10". I wish I was 6 foot. Hey, I can be 6 foot. But honestly, it doesn't bother me because for me, attitude is the most important thing in this world. If you have a positive attitude, a positive outlook, then it doesn't really matter. But a lot of people just need just a little bit more to help them in creating a positive image for themselves. That's what I'm all about here on this channel. I'm all about creating positive attitude, stuff to help you guys out. I love watch collecting because I love watches. Do I buy watches because someone else thinks it's cool? No. Honestly, a lot of people don't like Invicta watches. They hate Invicta watches. But I just did a video not that long ago on 6 reasons why you should buy an Invicta. Honestly, I think that there are way too many negative emotions in this world that people need to get rid of them. And honestly, if I'm comparing this to this, it's hardly noticeable at all. And honestly, these have a really cool retro vintage vibe that sort of just match with everything. And honestly, if I needed to be slightly taller because it gave me confidence, I would wear these things every day. And I would get the black sneakers or again, you cannot go wrong with classic white leather or classic black leather. Now, what are your guys' thoughts and opinions on these shoes? Would you ever wear them? Would you not wear them? Do you think it actually gains you an advantage to simply add an inch or two? Now, some of us have spent a long time, especially in 2020, at home and not really out of the office. Well, if you're starting a new job or you're going back to the office, not only do they have classic leather sneakers, but they have a wide variety of shoes for every occasion. And these things are not cheap. The quality is there. The leather is solid, full grain leather, super soft, super supple. The stitching is great. The build quality is amazing. They're like $165. And some of their shoes are upwards of over $200 for like their dress shoes. So consider something like that when you're wanting to buy a pair of shoes. You need to consider the cost, you need to consider the quality, and you need to consider the wearability. Maybe a classic white pair of leather sneakers aren't for you. Well, they have classic black leather sneakers. They have classic dress shoes. They have everything under the sun. Check out their website. If you like videos like this, hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a comment on the content you guys would like to see on this channel. Tomorrow, I am doing a review on this Invicta 1953. Super excited about it. I've been waiting to get my hands on it. I haven't even taken it out of its packaging yet. I will do that for you guys tomorrow. So make sure you guys are hitting that notification bell so you guys can be notified when I drop that next video. Until next time.